Hi crafters, this is Raquel with Paints and Glitter. Today I'm coming along to share with you a special little project and give you an invitation. So what I've done is that I've created some cards using the Sending Christmas Joy collection from HoneyBee stamps. So these are the stamps here. Let me see if I can show you without too much of a glare, and I apologize for that, but it has these floral elements, has a postage stamp also image there, and those are actually two separate stamps there along with the floral one. They're separate florals, different sentiments. One of them is Merry Christmas. There's Love You, Hello, from our home to yours, sending Christmas joy with love from all of us. And then there are some extra little petals here, and then the little 20-cent postage stamp value. Then there are matching dies, as usual, from HoneyBee. They are known for having a lot of different dies that will match their images. And what I've done is I've paired it also with some Holiday Wishes pearl stickers, some gold ink from Catherine Pooler, and along with that, I've also used some no line coloring and some Wow embossing folder. And I've paired all of that along with several different pencils from the watercolor pencils from Tim Holtz from Ranger. So I had a lot of fun coloring. These are distress watercolor pencils. If you're not familiar with them, they do match the inks. So if you know about distress oxides or distress inks, these pencils have the same names and the same colors. The techniques, however, that you can use with these are amazing. So what I'm doing here in this video is that I'm going to share with you three different cards, but what I'm also going to ask you to do is to please stop by scrapbookpal.com. You're going to see the tutorial that I have on their YouTube channel and blog for this particular card here. And let me just tell you, if you love delicate, beautiful florals, then this stamp and die collection is one that I think is timeless. And here, as you can tell, I've used the golds, and then I've used some soft lilacs and peaches and pinks for the actual florals, along with some more gold around the edges. And those are the beautiful little pearls that I was referring to. So super cute. Please watch that tutorial. Then here I have two other samples. So the one here to my left is super cute also. What I've done here, as you can tell, is I've used the same image there, which is that main image for the florals. And what's different here is that I have actually stamped and heat embossed that with the same embossing powder and same gold ink. However, here I've done it on vellum. So what a contrast and what a difference that makes. Then what you see here is that I use that postage die, and in fact, let me show you. There's the larger one that will cut that nice solid piece, but then I use the rectangle that you can use to cut that into the prior cutout. That allowed me to create that beautiful frame. So look at how darling that looks. And so I was going for more of a Christmassy color palette here. So there I've used darker colors, except for some of the blues. I did use some tumbled glass, I believe it was, but I don't have a tutorial on the coloring for this because I really wanted you to stop by scrapbookpal.com and watch this one. And what I can tell you is that I did color this on the wrong side of the vellum, or on the side opposite of where I did the heat embossing. Reason being that I did not want to interrupt that beautiful heat embossing, so that's why I just blended the colors on the back, but you wouldn't know it necessarily. It just gives you a beautifully muted style there. And then I did add a few more of those little pearls just in different colors, and on the inside I stamped the love you sentiment, which of course is different over here than this one where you see that little drop shadow. Then lastly, I created another one with a more vintage style. I also did quite a different style of coloring, meaning that here what I did was that I did stamp the images. I didn't use that background floral cluster. I only did individual flowers, and I also stamped them onto watercolor paper using different inks. One of them was the archival ink from Ranger in Library Green. Sorry. I used also an oxide ink, which I It was peeled paint. I'm sure of it. The peeled paint ink is what I used for these other lighter flowers. And then I also went ahead and stamped it using the no line coloring ink here, and then proceeded to just trace it with the darker colors that I wanted to use using the pencils. So, for instance, you could take a pencil like Rustic Wilderness or any one of them, Forest Moss. I know that I used, let's see here, Pine Needles was one that I used, and I then just traced around the actual stamping, and it looked as if I had stamped it with ink. So it's up to you how to use these products. The other thing here that I did was I supplemented this with some little branches that I had just from other dies that I already have in my stash. Here I stamped the sentiment in gold onto white card, but then I placed it on a little vellum banner. And in the background there, as you can see, the little rectangle and the postage stamp that you can die cut, I actually went ahead and die cut them, but I also dry emboss them with a 3D embossing folder, and then finish coloring that with a series of different pencils for yet a different look. So this is a really fun set. I had a lot of fun using it and trying to come up with different ways of incorporating these stamps and dies into completely different looks. That's what I like to do when I'm crafting, is to try to push it into different directions, if you will, from a creative standpoint, to see which one I prefer. And I don't really have a particular style because I enjoy everything when it comes to crafting. But I do like to share what I know, and I hope that this inspires you to take a peek. Don't forget that there's also some giveaways going on in the month of December, which is when this video will release. So please take a peek at that also at Scrapbook Pal. I think you may want to take advantage of that so that you can also enter into the giveaway. So, as I always say, I do hope that you can be inspired and be blessed. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a Merry Christmas.